Okay, Donald Trump has proposed $1 trillion infrastructure upgrade. $1 trillion. I remember when people talked $1 million, now everything's billions, now we're going to trillions. So $1 trillion infrastructure upgrade. How's he going to do that? Well, the way he's going to do this is very unusual because he's not going to do it through the public sector, but through the private sector. So there's going to be a lot of very lucrative contracts out there for this infrastructure. And probably the way it's going to work out is they're all going to be government backed. So what's going to happen is you're going to get a bunch of crooked, or a bunch of Donald friends that are going to be getting these nice, fat, big contracts, construction contracts, to build up the infrastructure. And they're going to overcharge and deliver, and after that, the government's going to be on the hook, just like with everything else that's private. Then that after it explodes and disintegrates, it becomes everybody's problem, our problem, the public problem. So this is just a big setup for his contractor friends or his buddies on Wall Street to get lucrative contracts to upgrade the infrastructure for $1 trillion, and then after it all goes bust, and the things don't get done that we're supposed to get done, or the projects all the money gets sucked out and the work doesn't get done, the taxpayer is going to be on the hook for it, which is kind of what it's being set up to be. Kind of like everything else, kind of like the banking system, kind of like the student loan system. Governments back student loans. People don't pay back the student loans because the colleges don't deliver to help you get a job. I mean, they just give you nebulous education. They don't give you specific training to get a job. They just give you education, and they charge a lot of money for that education. You borrow it from a lender, maybe a private lender, and then it's backed by the government if they default. And that's the way these contracts are going to be. They're going to be backed by the government once the people default. Not to mention the fact that he's creating a situation where there could be toll roads, a lot of toll roads, a lot of places where you have to pay for the infrastructure upgrade through some sort of toll or some sort of means of paying for it, and you might have to do that. In fact, I was watching one thing where they were talking about toll roads could be out in the middle of Nebraska, out in the middle of Wyoming or Utah, or some of these places are very low traveled. They're going to have toll roads now with this $1 trillion upgrade that he's got. So anyway, another one of Donald Trump's ways to enrich himself and his friends, this $1 trillion. People hear that, they think, oh my God, there's going to be an amazing amount of jobs that are going to be all of a sudden available through his $1 trillion upgrade of the infrastructure. Well, the $1 trillion ain't going to you. It ain't going for jobs. It's going to go to his rich buddies for the contracts to do this work, which probably won't get done. And if it does get done, it's probably going to be at an extravagant way of doing it, of which a lot of people are going to make a lot of money, and it ain't going to be you and me. So anyway, this is another thing. Not to mention the fact he added another $1 trillion to the debt, which is just digging us deeper and deeper and deeper, devaluing the dollar, making the dollar worth less, which is, like I said in previous videos, one of the few things we still have going for us in this country is a strong dollar. But you dilute it with $1 trillion of infrastructure upgrade, it'll just depreciate the dollar, make it worth a lot less. So, or dilute the dollar is what exactly will happen. So anyway, another one of Donald Trump's shenanigans, and this is why he wanted to get to be president, so he could pull these kind of deals and have the power and the authority to do this kind of stuff. So another one of his bullshit deals. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. Thank you.